Hi everyone, it's Killshot from 99 Gaming, and this is Fear the Walking Dead, Season 8, Season 6, Episode 8, live fan reactions. I'm a little rattled right now. I got to tell you guys, I'm like mixing up the seasons and the episodes, trying to gather my thoughts with tonight's episode and unpack a few things. I have to tell you guys, um, one, a lot of people were trying to give me information, and I was lucky enough to avoid it. But I got to tell you, I think this is one I would have wanted to know coming into tonight's episode. Tonight's one of the nights that I really wished I would have had the spoilers prior to watching it, because when you do watch it and you avoid it all week long, you just get that like raw reaction. And um, there's that part of me that loves what The Walking Dead did, because it's like the original Walking Dead, when they did things to kind of get you mad. You're angry at people. You see red. You see villains. You lose somebody that you like. Um, and then there's that part of me that says wasted potential, because what a year. It's like Kylo Ren, John Dorie. Um, if I Doctor Strange, if I gravitate towards somebody, I just feel like their character is going to die. why, why could why could it not have gravitated more toward Morgan? So, or June, or certainly June. Um, yeah, I thought it was going to be different. I'm not saying that I, looking back, I guess in hindsight, I'm not saying I would have loved for June to die, but I was hoping of the two that it would have been June a long time ago, and then John would have had some purpose. And I think, look, there were some things tonight that Fear of the Walking Dead really went out there. They really went out on a ledge, and very, very risky. And I'm just gonna open it up for you guys, because there were some things that I noticed tonight. I see Animal. Honestly, thought he was going to kill himself. Never thought he would turn out like that. Um, there was some controversy. So I think there were three very controversial things in tonight's episode, and the story really drew that. And I love the fact that they did the suicide prevention at the end. So obviously, one of the controversial topics was um, John Dorie just feeling hopeless, and thought he had a purpose. Thought he had a purpose. Um, I also thought the scene with the ranger lassoing Morgan and dragging Morgan behind the horse, I thought that was very controversial. And then to have Dakota actually shoot John, and you got basically a child with a gun who shoots an adult, and portrays it as that's just the way things are right now. So, um, first of all, big kudos to Fear the Walking Dead for not being afraid um, to address these topics. But man, oh man, killing John Dorie, that's a tough one. That's a tough one for me. Because I think if you would have asked me prior to tonight's stream if there's any character that I would probably watch Fear the Walking Dead for, for the last couple years, I've been pretty open about that. That John Dorie was probably my favorite character on the show. It was Abraham. Abraham died, then it was John. And you just see how talented I mean, he's a gunslinger. And he could take out like all of these people. But now let me divert it. I think I'm probably more angry at June and the irony of her saving Jenny and not being able to save John. So, did you guys kind of feel that? Did you feel that, well, when she saved Jenny last year, immediately afterwards, when we did the live stream, do you guys remember that live stream? I was angry. It's probably the last time I was angry on Fear the Walking Dead. And I said, when something happens to a major character on the show, and I also said when that happened, I signed it off right there. And I said, I know they won't kill June now because they made her do something ridiculous. And those are always the people that have to live with it, right? So, and I said, anyone that dies by Jenny or because of Jenny, it's now going to be the fault of June for saving her. And why did she save her? Because she wanted a hospital. So, June wanted to help people, and by saving Jenny, she was getting what she wanted, and ultimately, she wasn't able to save the person that you thought she cared about the most. Villar says, for me, they messed up his character like they did with Jesus. Two badass characters. It could have been so much more. Yeah, that, I think that's certainly a big part of it. I also think that what was so good about it is that once you thought John was saved, you thought he was saved, right? I mean, you're thinking like, all right, if he was going to kill himself, he's going to kill himself. Now, there is also a deep spiritual undertone to John's death. And, because in Christian faith, it is thought that suicide prevents you from going to heaven, right? That's not an uncommon thought. It's not an uncommon doctrine. So, was there some protection of John's goodness? Is that really what the writers were trying to get at? Instead of having John kill himself, was it also the fact that it had to be by somebody else's hands? I mean, I'm just throwing that out there. I'm not trying to get you guys to get too, because as bad as people are in this world, and John did kill someone. He killed a ranger defending Morgan. But did he make peace with himself? I mean, he did go to the bottom of the river. He did find the pitcher. It's almost as if he had this grudge against his dad. And he gets the pitcher and he swims up to the bottom. It's semantics, Nixie. I mean, you get the point, right? I mean, you get what I'm going at. I'm not here to really make it about which denominations. But the point of it is, was the intent to have a higher power working so he didn't kill himself? Was that one of the undertones of the writing? And, it was rather shocking that they let Carl do it. But they weren't going to go that route with John. And, the question that I'm going to have tonight and tomorrow is going to be, why did John live a little longer? What was the point? I mean, what did they accomplish? Well, part of it, he got the answer. So I do think that he was trying to solve this murder mystery, and it was always going to be something that was weighing on his mind. He went back to the cabin to get a little bit more time to try to figure it out. So yes, he didn't die not knowing. So he got closure. So, after he got closure, he said he wasn't begging for his life, but he did seem like he was at peace with himself when she shot him. And he lived long enough, I think, to make peace with his father. So I don't know. I look at, like, there was a story with his dad. And I think that's what the writers were trying to get to. We saw the truck. He never understood why his dad left him. And then right before he died, he did say, I've been spending my whole life trying to figure out why he never came back. And now I'm starting to understand it. So I feel like, when I think about it like that, I don't really feel as bad, because he basically did everything that he needed to do. He couldn't get over the depressive state, but he got out of that state long enough to make peace and then die. I don't know. That's kind of my larger philosophical explanation of the show. Now, it could be as simple as he got another gig and is going to be doing movies and went to the writers and they said, hey, all right, we'll kill you off for shock factor because we know that you're a star and you'll be able to get a job somewhere else. So, I always have to do both. I straddle, both realizations. Glenn, for example. Probably a fairly known fact is, well, here's a couple. Okay? Nick. I wasn't a fan of Nick, but Nick had another gig lined up, and he actually wanted to leave the show. And that was very drastic, which is why it was kind of choppy. Glenn. They killed Abraham. Glenn wanted the iconic Negan death. And Stephen Yeun did a couple movies and made about 10 times more in his movies than he was making on Walking Dead. So it's a win-win situation. So is Garrett Dillahunt going to be unemployed? Is he going to be out of work? I don't think any of those factors. I think he's very talented and he'll do quite well. And whether he did another 6 episodes of Fear the Walking Dead or finished out the season and did something else, c'est la vie. So I'm sure obviously I'm sure he knew this in advance, and I'm not saying they went to him and said, hey, would you like to die? Would you not like to die? But I don't think he was probably kicking and screaming on the way out the door the way Madison was. Now, very known fact, she absolutely wanted to stay. And I think with Garrett, like I said, you'll see him in a lot of other stuff. So it works for the career. I guess it just doesn't work for me a whole lot because I liked his character and I wanted to see his character do more. And I think Villar hit it earlier. you know, let me ask this. And I certainly like the episode, and I like the start. But I am going to play a little bit of devil's advocate. So let's start out first and foremost and say, all right, from a 1 to a 10 tonight, give me your scores based on story, engagement, interest, all of the above. Let's see how high you rated tonight's episode. I agree with that too, Jesus. I think I wanted to see him on The Walking Dead. I definitely want to see him cross over. You know, D Styles, I agree with that. It's like, I think that's my exact reaction. 9 out of 10, but damn, John, I agree. I don't think I could have said it any better. All right, and I'm going to come in at a 9, and I'm going to tell you why. Are June and Dakota the villains that we need on Walking Dead? Like, they're getting ready to introduce a couple new villains. Like whoever this creepy dude is with Alicia and whoever Sherry's group. So my problem again, like, would it not have been better if Jenny could have killed John? I mean, would that not have made us a little bit better villain? Dakota and June, for a while it was Charlie. So, and look, and I'm not going to bash Fear. I'm looking forward to Fear. But the problem that I have, Charlie killed Nick, and she was the best that we had to a villain. Right? The vultures weren't villains. And then you've got Jenny, who's supposed to be like, and I don't know where Will is. Where's Will? I am enjoying winning my bet with Will about Jenny being the most evil thing on Walking Dead. So right now, I feel like Dakota is more hated than Jenny, and I feel like June is despised because she saved Jenny. Now, it's not to say that Jenny didn't do something in her past. Maybe she was abusive toward Dakota and she just can't get over it. I don't know. There could be any backstory they tie into that. And maybe it'll be one of those after the fact type of things that we look at it and say, well, okay, Dakota is the way she is because of that, but she still murdered somebody trying to get away from her sister. She murdered John trying to cover up the fact that she murdered somebody. So, her vile nature is just continuing to grow. And meanwhile, we're just not seeing that out of who we think should be the villain. So I do, I still have a little bit of an issue with that. I don't have an issue with the story tonight. I thought it was great. But it's what we needed. Can they maintain it? Or are we going to go back to old Fear the Walking Dead, not develop a villain, introduce somebody else, kill them off before you even know them? Because I'm looking forward to seeing whoever this creepy dude is with Alicia. Yeah, Steven, see, that's the thing, right? Like, Charlie killed Nick. And we've moved on. Looks like we're going to get to a showdown. So Well, you'll move on, Julia, when Charlie kills Dakota. I mean, how many people already know that's a foregone conclusion? I'll sign it right now. Charlie kills Dakota, no doubt about it. I have zero doubt in my mind that'll happen. Probably before the end of the season. Yeah, I agree. We got I will say this. As much as we want to hate Dakota, she's got some balls. I mean, she can do what John and Morgan can't do. So let me go Negan mode on you guys. Maybe Dakota is the next Negan. Because all during the episode, the one thing she kept saying is, well, why can't you do this? Why? It's the way it is. It's what people do these days. Part of the problem with John and with Morgan is they don't pull the trigger. They're so interested in not becoming what the other people are that they continue to lose the people that they care about because they can't fight back. So Eric Beach says, what's the end game with Fear? All dead, crossover, and Crazy L says next Alpha. All right, so let me anger the audience a little bit. I'll answer both questions, Eric. So, how many people here love Negan? How many people are like, you know what? Negan actually did what was necessary, did what he had to do in order to survive and keep people alive. All right. I'm back. All right, so, we love Negan. So what's the look, I love John. Like, I'm a John Dorie fan. But you know what? I'm a fan of what John Dorie could have been, of what John Dorie should have been. I don't know. Maybe Dakota will wear on me. Maybe if they made her into a villain and cultivated it the right way and just let her go around and kill everybody, maybe I'd warm up to her. So, what was John's deal? I mean, look, there's a lot of ways that we can break down what his problem was, what his depressive state was, why he couldn't figure it out, why he was okay with June being away from him, why he wanted to kill himself. So, all of those things. And you know what? We wanted, at least me, I wanted for John to at least fight, right? I wanted him to say, even if he was so unhappy, I wanted him to fight for other people. And he couldn't. And he just kept it was like life support. The zombies, the walkers kept him alive. Then running into Morgan kept him alive. Then the truck kept him alive. And it was just like step by step by step. And all along the way, it was like, no, I'm not going to help you. I'm not going to help you. I'm going to go back. And then it finally did click to him like, okay, I'll go stay and wait for Jenny and I'll end this. So, right, the door. Well, the irony of John Dorie and door is not lost on me. But so many reasons that he wanted to check out. So my vision of The Walking Dead was June go away and John and Morgan become like these two badass gunslingers, right? So that's what I wanted. But Fear said no. We're going to kill off the best character on the show. Okay? Now, I'm going to look at the big picture of this. If you're going to do that, if you're going to kill John, it can't be for nothing. Dakota has to become something. Or it's just, it's just a senseless death. Why not give that luxury or that, I guess, that prestige? Because look, there's prestige in being a hero and there's prestige in being a villain. So if you're going to give that prestige to the villain, then my feeling is you should develop that villain. And the group is certainly, they're weaker. So I'm at a loss. I don't know if the point to Fear the Walking Dead is to say there is no point and things just kind of happen and you have to accept them, or if the point is that some of these characters are just that stupid that they don't kill Jenny when she's missing an arm. John didn't kill her. June didn't kill her. They both could have. They've had multiple opportunities. John could have went in and killed Jenny in her sleep when he lived there, and he didn't. So, I don't get it. Nice people live. Eugene's lived a long time. Mean people live. So to answer your question, Eric, I don't know. I don't know that there is an end game. I liked it, but, did I like it because it was shocking and then they go back to predictability? Or do I like it because they're really going to do something? So let me ask you guys this. Is there another character that we could start to, can Dwight be that character finally? Does the death of John finally give Dwight the opportunity? We'll open that up for some of your questions. All right, so Anakin, I only care about Alicia, Morgan, Dwight, and Daniel. Yeah, I mean, Colton, I agree with that. I mean, Dwight does have something in him, and we haven't seen it yet. But I don't know. I guess time will tell. I don't feel that John had the proper legacy. So let me ask you guys this question, and we will wind it down shortly. What will you most remember about John Dorie? What is his legacy on Fear the Walking Dead? Yeah, I don't disagree with that. June is going to go Rambo. You know, Nav, I have a real problem with that. Like, I don't want to see June go Rambo. In fact, be perfectly honest, I don't give a shit about June because June caused all of this mess. So for her to be oblivious, I mean, we can go back to the history of June and a lot of the stuff that she put John through in the first place. I mean, I don't want to pin all of it on June, but couldn't the fact that June chose something else and someone else and something else over and over and over again, couldn't have that led to his depression and wanting to kill himself? The last thing that he typed was goodbye June. So I'm not saying that it's her responsibility to keep him alive, as I wouldn't say that for anybody. You know, everybody has to manage their own lifestyles, their own emotions. But I do feel like she took advantage of him, and she always thought he would be there, and that he was kind of like the puppy that wasn't ever going to go away. And then finally she had to watch him die. I do feel like Dakota, well, let me put it this way, Christmas Girl. I haven't really dug down to find out all the details of Dakota. So at first, I thought it was convenient, and I thought maybe Jenny was a little overboard. And then secondly, I thought, well, maybe her and Jenny are in this together. And I'm not going to say no to that. Like, look, it's easy for me to throw a conspiracy theory out there and say, well, wait a minute. Her and Jenny are really just trying to get into all these. The kid creates trust, and Jenny swoops in and just takes over. And that's kind of like their deal, good cop, bad cop. So I'd really have to go back and see how close Dakota has been in some situations to see if that's a viable alternative. You know what I mean? So that sounds good. It sounds like a good theory, unless there was a situation where there was too much risk and it didn't work out. Otherwise, I don't know. I could say Dakota is the evil and Jenny's not, or they are both in it together, or Jenny's treatment and their family's treatment of Dakota is really what created her. Well, because Ron, from what I've seen with Jenny, how many people have we seen Jenny personally kill? Not many. Like Jenny does a lot of things. She doesn't kill a lot of people in cold blood. And that's the problem I've had with her. I probably would have understood her more if she was more like Negan. But all these other people are doing things for some reason, and Jenny's just not a real scary character. I would agree. I would definitely agree that Dakota could be a now, but we never know. We thought Logan was going to be a scary character, and he was nothing. So, look, I know you guys, much like me, you love yourself some John Dorie. But now that he's gone, if Fear drops the ball and they don't do something really, really diabolical with Dakota, with that whole group, to me, again, it's a missed opportunity. See, when I do these streams, I don't want to be in the middle. Like, I want to lean one way or the other so we got something to talk about and we don't, hey, Dakota's really evil and really sad about John, and then 2 episodes from now we forget that ever happened. No, I want it to mean something. I want it to be something. Again, the legacy of John Dorie was, and look, I don't want to be mean. Sad, broken-hearted man that fell in love, never got what he wanted, could never have what he wanted the wrong things, and got close a couple times, and ultimately ended up basically where he started. You know, in the beginning, he was looking for June. At the end, June was there. And she probably could have done more to make things work with him. But maybe it just wasn't in her nature. So, Jared, I wouldn't disagree with that. But I almost need a little more villain out of Dakota. What do you guys think? Let's see how many people are just heartbroken right now over John Dorie. So, does Dakota deserve to die next episode? Like, you don't want to see her one more second. Somebody just needs to hit her with a bow and arrow from 20 yards and she's gone. Or would you like to see a little bit more death and destruction and maybe a little more evil? Maybe push Fear to a little more, a little higher level. See, I don't know. I think at this point, I think I want to see a little bit more chaos. You've already opened up Pandora's box. I mean, what are we going to get except a choppy, half-assed story if we keep killing somebody and killing the person that killed them, starting another plot, killing that person, killing the person that killed them? No, let's let her be a little bit more evil. I mean, we're already here. Don't be afraid of it. Let's see if they can really work our heartstrings, really work our emotions a little bit, and create something. Create something that'll carry us through the season. Jared, let me just say, Fear the Walking Dead's ratings have been less than stellar the last 5 seasons. So, I don't think, to be perfectly honest with you, I don't think killing John Dorie is going to hurt their ratings. And in fact, I think it's going to help their ratings. As much as I like John, I think this episode is going to interest people. Because people watch shows for different reasons. And let me tell you, okay? I liked what John could be. I didn't tune in to see sad John Dorie. I tuned in to see whether or not John Dorie was going to be a badass. He wasn't. He didn't. Someone killed him before it ever happened. But I do think, as much people that have been talking about this episode, I think they did the right thing. Because anything that you do to jumpstart your ratings in TV is the right thing. It's not whether or not 10 of us watch and 10 of us love John Dorie. It's whether or not 2 million people tune in and watch because they want to see how shocking and how crazy it can be. And again, I love Abraham. I love Kylo Ren. I thought I was going to like John Dorie. But I certainly think that there's a spark there. But if the spark fizzles, if they do this and it doesn't change some dynamics, then we're back to what I feel was a struggle for Fear the Walking Dead in the last couple seasons. Because I do think the incongruency of their story is what they've struggled with. Doesn't mean they haven't had a good episode here or there. And tonight, Fear the Walking Dead was as good as any Walking Dead episode in the last year and a half. That's my feeling of it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was well written. I thought it was well done. And I thought it was as good as any of the mothership's shows. So maybe they got it. Now, if they hit a home run with this one and they can't follow up with something good the rest of the way, then all bets are off. It's like, okay, you did a good show, you killed John, and you got us to watch, you got us to talk about it, you got us pissed off. We want to see what's going to happen next week. And then, you give us a bounty hunter that goes out and kills, gets killed in episode number 1. I'm still mad about that with Fear the Walking Dead. I thought that bounty hunter in episode 1 could have been a badass. But, that's my frustration with Fear. It's always been my frustration with Fear. And I've watched it. I've talked about it. I broke it down. I've reacted to it. We've done bold predictions. But tonight, I will say tonight is probably, it's certainly in my top 3 episodes of Fear. It might actually be my favorite. So funny, even when you lose the character that you like the most, this will be one of the episodes that I remember. Jared, you want my honest opinion of the last 6 episodes of Walking Dead? Terrible. I thought it was one good Negan episode and a whole bunch of filler. I'm sorry. I didn't enjoy it. I thought the Negan episode was good. I thought that's the one they really built it around. And I thought the other ones were, first of all, there were about 20% more commercials in those episodes. I thought they were very poorly put together. And I thought it was, hey, let's feed some starving people The Walking Dead because they're starving and they need it. That's what I thought. So I would rather them not did those. I would have rather they just did the Negan episode. You know what I would have liked to seen? Even better, Jared? I would have liked to seen a 3-part miniseries of Here's Negan. I would have liked to seen, instead of all 6 episodes, give me 3 really good Here's Negan episodes. And I would have loved it. I thought that would have been perfect. 3-part miniseries, and we're done. But, yeah, 5 watered-down episodes. No. And, again, I got to walk on eggshells because when you have a microphone, if you criticize The Walking Dead, people get angry. But, I got to be honest with you guys. I can't BS my group. So, that's what I would have liked to seen. But, hey, next season looks good. The whole reprogramming thing and Commonwealth and what's up with Michonne, what's up with Rick. Will we get some cameos? They got to go out with a bang. So I'm looking forward to some Rick clues at the end of next season. We're going to have a lot of fun with it. But I am pleasantly surprised with Fear. I'm glad that they came out of the gate swinging. I hope they can finish the season the way they started it. And what I mean by that is, okay, here's what good Fear can be. Here's what bad Fear has typically been. I'm going to give you guys this example, and then we're going to sign off for the night. All right. Here's the way you guys will know if Fear the Walking Dead is for real. If you guys are ready for this, give me a 999. I'm going to give you the ultimate example of how you can tell if Fear understands what we want as viewers or if they still have no clue. All right. If this creepy dude who is talking to Alicia dies in the same episode that he's introduced to Alicia, Fear does not get it. If they give us this preview, and I don't remember what he said, but it's like, it's almost like a hello, Clarice moment. It's kind of like, hello, Alicia, I've been waiting on you. And if 30 minutes later, she kills him, then I'm going to be like, what the actual hell are you doing? But if he's creepy, and if he can stay creepy, and if he can do something that we got to think past one episode or two, Fear does not always respect our intelligence. That's the problem. They don't let us think 2 or 3 episodes down the line. That's why I need Dakota to do a little bit more before they kill her. I'm okay. Let her die. I'm fine with it. But I just need a little bit more story and maybe, I don't know, maybe kill 1 or 2 more people. Not Daniel. Not Alicia. But that's kind of my thought. And, my other thought is this. I really think, as I said I was going to leave after that, but I got one more thought. So I know a lot of people are frustrated that The Walking Dead is ending in one more season. But I do have to say, I think that when you go to the Commonwealth, it starts to create almost a science fiction genre. And I think they thought it was the perfect time to close the story out with something that is going to be both confusing for some of the audience and not widely accepted by a lot of the audience. Like, I do think that that's going to be a little bit of a head scratcher for the fans. And I think it's too much of a stretch, and they got together and decided, let's throw a little bit of it out there, let people see what it's about, and then end it, and then go with spinoffs. Because otherwise, you're going after, in my opinion, a somewhat different audience. So, that, everybody, is where I'm going to leave it. Hey, thanks for watching Fear. Thank you guys for not posting spoilers. I love you guys. Like, literally, I was dodging stuff all week long because I knew there was going to be a major death, and I didn't want to know who it was going to be. I had my ideas, I had my thoughts, but I managed to avoid it, and you guys were phenomenal because, normally I get the information quickly, but I just wanted to try it, and it was kind of cool. So, appreciate you guys. We will be back next Sunday night. So, after Fear, I hope we can get together next week and say, look, it was a 9 again. If we keep giving Fear 9s and 10s, then we might have a new hit on our hands. I'd love it. I'd love nothing more than that, than to have something to talk about, because I love getting together with you guys. I love talking about the show. And my apologies with a couple of The Walking Dead episodes, but there just was not a lot to talk about. It was short, it was quick, it was a watered down story, but tonight, certainly these are the type of things that we can get together and talk about. And I hope we're in for another big episode. So I am going to wind it down. I am going to give you guys a pitch because I see a lot of my Walking Dead fans, and 3, 4, 5 of you, I need you guys to message some of our moderators. Get involved in a couple PDL games. Hang out with us on a Friday night. I know you guys love Walking Dead as much as I love The Walking Dead, but I got to tell you, we got a great game that has PvP. We got a great game that has a story. And one of the biggest pushbacks we get from people is, I'm not a gamer. Hang out with us on a Friday night and enjoy the story. It's not just about gaming. We have our own story that we develop and we experience. It's kind of crazy. It's very social. We goof off. We have a good time. Some of you guys might be working. You might be doing some different things. I understand it. But I know there's a few of you guys out there. Jump in, hang out with us, and just check it out and see what it's all about. So, with that being said, I won't push you guys too much. Give me a quick 999, and let me get some shout-outs to all the Walking Dead fans, and a few of you guys, Harold Evans, Colton, Jared. I'm going to be looking for you guys. Get in with us and play a little bit of Play Dead Live. All right, I see Big Tree, what's up? Donnie T, I see you. Father Ron, Busy B, Harold Evans, Anakin. Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys being here. Your insight, your comments, your enthusiasm around the show. B-Dub, I see you. Ankh, I see you. Absolutely. Rebecca Mendez. We need to get Rebecca out there playing some PDL with us too. Michael Curie, you owe me. You said you were going to show up. I need to see you in one of these streams. Jerry Atchison, you too. Nab Malcolm, thank you. Cassandra LeBoom, thank you. Good to see you. Diana C., one of our super fans when we play on Friday nights. So, absolutely. Appreciate you guys. And if I don't see you guys on PDL, I still love you. We'll still get together and talk Walking Dead. But I'm going to recruit you. I'm going to recruit you either way. All right, give me some more 999s, and let's wind this thing up, everybody. Because, I don't think we're going anywhere the next couple years. Even when Walking Dead's gone, we're going to be here talking about games, talking about movies, talking about TV shows, and certainly playing our own game. When Walking Dead is gone, we're still going to be here doing our social gatherings. Absolutely. Michael, you'll be a hit, man. You'll be an absolute hit. You too, Colton. I'm telling you, if you guys get into some of these groups and just talk shop with them, they're phenomenal. Crazy L, I see you. See, that's the thing. I know you guys don't know how to play. We will teach you. We will absolutely get you with Deadly Dimes or B-Dub or Julia or Father Ron. All of them are players. And it's just a goofy, crazy story where we get together and build our own adventure. Might even get to take out some zombies on your own. All right. Thanks, everybody. That is my sales pitch. And let's get together. If I don't see you guys during the week, let's get together and talk about Fear the Walking Dead next Sunday night. Have a good night.